of Intervista.
Can't you see that I'm falling down? Broke my skin on the way round. Cannot see the door, but I feel the ground. So let's try to loop life round to make some sense of it. Let's condense it. Can you see the sand trickle through the glass? We can never watch time pass as we attempt to attach some grace, hoping truth will soon replace. Let's make no sense of it. Let's rejoice it. Ooh, falling down, falling down, falling down. We're just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. We're just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. We're just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. We're just falling down. Can't you see the signs written in the sky? Please don't let life pass you by. Let us raise our hands together and unite. The song from the heart must be bright. Let's make no sense of it. Let's rejoice it. Ooh, falling down, falling down, falling down. It's just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. Sky's just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. We are on the ground. Falling down, falling down, falling down. It's just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. It's just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. It's just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. We're just falling down. Falling down, falling down, falling down. We're just falling down.
I'm having breakfast with petra-jean-phillipson. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, how was the coffee?
Very good. Hot, and now I feel awake.
So, I was thinking about Luca. Yesterday said you seem to come from a pre-Raphaelite work of art. Yeah. Do you like art and literature, poetry?
Yes, very much so. I studied fine art, so yeah, my songs are very visually influenced. Yeah, so I mean, some of the songs on the new album, Notes on Death, are actually influenced by Turner paintings, and because I just remember this amazing story about Turner would strap himself to the mast of a ship in a storm to understand the feel, and then he would paint from the emotion, so in an expressionistic way. So yeah, I feel my music is very expressionistic, but and often is stimulated by visual and sometimes films, and I still go to see a lot of exhibitions, and yeah,
So music like painting, emotions.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, even more so on my new album, where I've stopped playing guitar on a couple of the songs, and And the music is very much collages, so it's like layers of sound that I record and then edit together and, you know, make a collage of sound. So it's still very much from a fine art based background, because I have no musical training at all. None. I don't have any music lessons or music study, but I studied art, so...
Yeah, I wanted to ask just a thing like that, because what about your voice, your wonderful voice? Did you study to get this voice? Because I've heard during the performance some parts of your songs, it seemed like opera singing.
No studying at all. Just listening. I always listened, so... And actually something we've been discovering around, because we've been on tour in Sicily, Matthew and I have discovered that I'm really, really seriously dyslexic. And so I've invented all these different methods and ways of learning. So my thinking patterns are really unusual. So, and what we found out is that I learn by listening. So rather than reading books, which I have read a lot of books anyway before, I tend to talk to people, or I listen, or I look. So yeah, it's really interesting. So like languages, I pick them up quite easily because they're all music. It's music to me. So I very much learn by listening.
What about struggles and kisses between male and female? A story that starts from the beginning of humankind, for example, in the Garden of Eden. Explain to us your vision about it.
Okay, well, Notes on Death is very much an exploration of really what happens to your spirit when you die. And I've always had very alternative views on that, because when I was younger, we used to do a lot of Ouija boards and really crazy stuff when we were kids at school, and I've always felt a really strong connection to the spirit world. So I felt very detached from Christian or Catholic or the patriarchal religions like that. So I've been exploring for the last 10 years where I belong and what's my faith and what do I believe. And also I went to a service with my mum for Christmas one year, like maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. On Christmas Eve, they have midnight mass, and sometimes me and my mother go. And we went, and a woman stood up and opened the Bible and read about Adam and Eve, and read about Eve being the devil and evil, and it just made me want to take my clothes off, set light to my hair and run up and down because I find a lot of it's very patriarchal, this religion, and it's a very new religion, and it doesn't incorporate women. It seems like Christianity, Catholicism, things like this are set to suppress women, and I don't like that, and I don't believe in that. And so Lilith was a character that I discovered in mythology and architectural mythology. Then I later found out she's in the Torah, which is the Jewish religious papers, and she was actually Adam's equal. So she was the sun, and she was the moon, and he was the sun. So they were completely equal. But she was banished from the Garden of Eden because she was naughty. She did bad things, and she had seduced men in the middle of the night, and she stole babies, and she did I felt as though sort of normal, modern, not stealing babies, but, it just felt like it was like a much more truthful image of woman, rather than this virginal, the Virgin Mary is a myth, for me, is a myth created to put woman in this image, and it's not real. So you'll always fail because you're not this, because you're human. Yeah. And Lilith said unto Adam is about that. I am the beast, I am the witch, I'm the disturber of peace. You're a thinking, passionate woman, And it's very, very important to me, this gender. As a woman with a voice, I want to have a voice with depth and profound thinking about being a woman. Yeah, it's important to me.
And your ballads sometimes reminds me of those medieval ballads of old England, for example. Am I wrong?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about Baroque music this morning, and I have listened to Hildegard von Bingen. Have you heard of her? She was a 13th century abbess who was a herbalist and a nun and a great painter and a great writer and an incredible musician. And she made these very, very beautiful choral pieces. They're all very religious. They were requiems, but yeah, I listened to her a lot before. But not English, but I should listen to English. Thanks, I will. I'll remember that, yeah.
Okay. And what if I say that you could be the female version of Tim Buckley?
Yeah.
In some sense.
It's a bit embarrassing because he's so good. I've a way to go, but I'm working. I'm working on it.
And so, question for your husband.
Yes.
If I could.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you use the guitar sometimes as a cello, right? What inspires this way of playing?
Because I'm not really a guitarist, and we were trying to find ways of trying to capture all of the sounds and the resonances on Petra's album with just one instrument that you can carry around, and on tour I just have a guitar, and so it just sort of developed really. I'm not a great technical guitarist, I can't do that, but I can hold a bow, and I used to play cello when I was young, so we just tried to create some kind of atmosphere, didn't we, and some sort of feel, and it seems to work, so it just sort of carried on, and so it just sort of conjures up feeling rather than sort of specific solos, just hearing sort of segments of sound, so that's why. That the sound and the fact that I'm not Jimi Hendrix. That combination.
And so, what about your future? Are you going to have tours, more tours in Europe, or compose music?
We well, after being in Sicily, we want to go to Scopello to write, because in England we've started a record label and production company, and we're very, very, very busy, so it's difficult to find the space to write. So we need to go to Antarctica to be silent and still and not busy. But also next week I'm researching this sound installations and the vibrational rate with sound and health, and I'm making these really exciting, really interesting sort of pods that you go into and you lie down and you get readjusted by sound. So I'm going to the Barbican, which is twinned with a school at the Bauhaus in Dessau in Germany, next week. So I'm doing that next week, which is like a dream come true. So it's all it's a very, very exciting time in our lives for the art, and the music is all coming together and making sense. And some more touring as well. We have Paris and Brussels and possibly Switzerland and some Germany, but we have to organise all of that now, and hopefully we'll come back here in late September. I think we're coming back to Italy.
Okay, I'll be there.
Oh yes,
I'll be waiting for you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
1, 2.
talk to me. I cannot hear the boys' hearts, only some nights listen tenderly to many Mother's Day. To every Mother's Day. Sick from her bed, 3 men, their Mother's Day. 3 Mother's Day, Mother's Day, my Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day. Too many little boys' tears have been shed. This is something I can never forget.
So, Matthew, what about your project? You're working on a project in which you're collecting voices and stories. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm in England. I'm doing a project called An English Love Story, which involves me walking around England on the footpaths and the ridgeways and through the country and by the sea. And I carry my guitar with me and just a bag, and I go to churches and villages and places, and I meet people on the path, and I play my songs from my album, and which is a little part of my love story. It's meeting Petra, and then we talk about love stories and how they might be important and why love stories are important. And because I believe they're really important, because they're one of those very few moments in life where we are truly very human, and we really feel and we really emote, and it's very real for us. So in talking about them and asking other people to talk about theirs, you see these people recalling those memories, and in sharing them, they share those memories, so people come close. So I'm going around England first for the next 2, 3, I don't know how many years, and just recording stories, love stories, just love stories, and then putting them on the internet and making a collection of tens and hundreds of love stories for people now. So it's like a record of how people feel and their stories. So that's sort of, that's what I'm doing.
And where all these stories will be put?
Well, initially just on a website on the internet, an English love story. So if you look for an English love story, you can find them there. And then perhaps in the end I'd like to have them in the National Record Office in the UK. They have a library where they collect all these audio and stories, and so that's where we're starting, and then perhaps maybe some stories in books and things like that. Make a lovely collection in different ways, and maybe on audio things so that people can buy them. And they're really powerful. They're only short, so I talk to people for about an hour and get the essence of it, 2 or 3 minutes. But they're so powerful when you hear them. They're very beautiful, and they're always very, very sad, or in a way, because people are talking about people they miss or they love or they remember. So, yeah, it's great.
So the stories told with voice of people involved in these stories. So it's different from writing a book or something, because you can listen the emotions directly from people. Yeah. So I find it very interesting.
Yeah, and that's why it's so good. It's so interesting, so unique, very powerful. Yeah, love stories.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Radio Metaverse.